Hey, Mike Moo here. Today we're going to take a look at some ESR cases that are designed for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I have here a mock-up of an iPhone 17 Pro Max. Of course, they don't make one in black, at least right now. So just so you know, this is not a working sample, but I do have my actual iPhone 17 Pro Max and I'm recording on that right now. Now, if you've seen a lot of issues with the 17 Pro Max is that it is all aluminum. One of the things that they've improved on is the screen. Supposedly, it's a lot more scratch resistant, but as we all know, it'll eventually get scratched. So has been something that I've been testing out actually for a few months now, and it's this thing right here. It's the ESR Ultrafit Armorite Pro screen protector. That's a lot of stuff going on in here, but just so you know, this is basically Corning's Gorilla Glass type of product. So this is the best protection that you can possibly get overall for scratch resistance, just as good or better than what the iPhone has right now on the 17 Pro Max as far as the scratch resistance. So you should put one on. I've been testing it. Unfortunately, at this time, I was making a little video about it and installing it, and the installation process is not perfect. They have some things to smooth out, but if you're watching this and it's available right now, hopefully they've already smoothed those things out. I could just only tell you that it is extremely scratch resistant. It doesn't keep fingerprints on there. It's oleophobic. It's great. Love it. Love it. I've been using it for testing for a couple of months now, and it's fantastic. Okay, let's get on to the cases. Just so you know, ESR sent me these cases so I could do this video. All right, I didn't pay for any of these cases, just so you know. And I love ESR products. That's probably the reason why. And I think I'm actually signing up as an affiliate now. So just full disclosure on there right now. I use a variety of my cases on my iPhones, but primarily I will say that there's some cases that fit better for me than others. And we'll go over through some of these and what I think about these live as I unbox and showcase some of these. All right, I'm going to start off with the soft magnetic cases. And I'll say this because typically I don't use a soft magnetic case. So I'm starting off with ones that I don't use just because this one kind of stands out compared to the rest of them. And this one has what they call 3x military grade in terms of the drop protections. And other than that, the texture is something that I really like about the 17 Pro Max. They softened up the sides, but when you put it on a case, obviously all of that goes away. So we really don't get to take advantage of stuff like that. But if you get a soft case, maybe you might. So that might be a reason why. There's a versatile stash stand back here. So there's a stand that holds the phone up if you're going to be using it on the table, a little bit more ergonomic. But why don't I just take a look at it? And just so you know, ESR is one of those companies that actually does this easy replacement with no return needed in case you do run into problems with your case, just to say that they stand behind their products. And luckily, I haven't actually had to use this. But if you have, please comment down below. Let me know how it went. It's just a great bit of reassurance. I love that about companies that stand behind their products. Okay, in this particular version, it is orange. And this has a nice silicone feel. It's bright, very vibrant. This feels great. Actually very smooth. I'm gonna give it a little sniff test. Doesn't smell like anything. I love that. Feels like very high quality silicone. It's got that frame around. This is the frame that stashes away so that you can stash away the stand. So if you didn't know any better, you could have thought this was just one of those things where it is just an accessory that looks nice. But in reality, it's actually very functional. I'm going to put the dummy phone on here. And this, of course, this dummy phone is specifically as the actual iPhone. And let me know what you think, what it looks like. I'll take pictures of these a little bit later with the actual 17 Pro Max. I actually got the orange version as well and give you an idea what that looks like with it. But as you can see, it fully covers just about all the colors around. So even if you couldn't get the orange one, which I heard was sold out in some areas, you can actually make your phone orange just by this stand. Sticks out like this. Feels really great. This feels like a really well designed Apple type product. And we have this camera control. Camera control, unfortunately, has not worked out quite the way we all hoped and thought it would. There's a little bit of a lip over here to protect your phone. But again, if you get a screen protector on, it won't matter as much. But This camera control feature is actually nicely implemented here. Of course, I can't test that, but I can feel the button press go down. It feels really good. It feels actually a lot more natural than just the cutout. So that's nice. And then we have this little section here, what appears to be maybe for a lanyard. And let me try just seeing, okay, so this will hold it up like this, but vertically, you're gonna have to, no, vertically it's too vertical. So it's gonna be more like this. I don't know how I feel completely about that, but I like that it's fully integrated. It's just completely clean down here. And it obviously this will not affect anything related to any Qi charging issues whatsoever. Plus, it's got the extra magnets in here that are perfectly aligned so that you got a lot of good holding magnetic force. It's fairly easy to get on and off. So I like that. But I do like the way it feels. It feels really soft. It's got this felt in there. All right, anyways. That is the soft case. So this is case number one. We're taking a look at here. It's the soft magnetic case, part of the Cloud series. I'm going to put this over to the side. Next, we're going to take a look at the hybrid, because the hybrid, we have three other tough cases back here. We're going to take a look at the hybrid. This is the ESR Classic Series hybrid magnetic case. I've done a video about this before on the hybrid cases for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I do like the hybrid cases. This is like we'll talk about why it's hybrid, but there's also 3 times military protection on here. It's also got the versatile stand just like before, and it has a strong magnetic lock. The hybrid portion is that you have a bit of a hybrid between, at the outside here is soft. So the grips and edges that you feel are somewhat soft. And it's also grippy. I like that about this, is that it is more grippy than a regular silicone. But this part is tough. It's a hard exterior on here, and it's see-through as well. So if you did want to put like a little picture back here, or if you have some sort of ID card or something, it'll be fine back here. For instance, I go to the library a lot. I can put my library card, show up the barcode out here. It'll look nice. Plus, it'll show off the color of your phone as well. So this one is the clear version and has the same stand as the other one. Yep, functions just exactly the same. And these have these set angles, basically unrestricted angles up to a certain point, like just sticking out just a little bit. So you can really tailor the angle down as far as that, or as close as maybe that, really. But realistically, you'll be somewhere in between here and there. The hinge mechanisms of the ESRs have always been pretty good, so I've never had any issues with these as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put the black iPhone 17 Pro Max on here, and this is what it looks like. So if you have a color that you like to show off of your iPhone, this one might do well too. You got the perfect cutouts on here. It protects this whole area inside, just like the other phone. Sorry, just like the other case, which is also the Cloud case, the silicone one. But it's the hybrid where it feels more like a phone here, whereas over here, it feels like you have a case, but it's a nice feel. This one, it's tough. It's see-through. You can see the colors of it coming through. And at the same time, you have similar protections in place too. You got 3 times military protection, etc. All the cutouts are perfectly well aligned. You also have the lanyard holes over there, and then you also have a nice camera control section over here that is touch sensitive. That goes right through. Okay, so that's these two. These two are very similar in that sense, and very similar in that sense in terms of that design. All right, now we're going to take a look at. So that was the hybrid magnetic case. Now we're going to take a look at some of the tough magnetic series. I usually prefer the tough magnetic stuff just in general because I have dropped my phone a lot. For instance, I just dropped this dummy phone fairly recently. So when I'm out and about, I usually like to keep a tough magnetic case. Sure, I have Apple Care Plus with theft protection, everything on my iPhone, since I just don't want to have to worry about that. But usually I like a little bit more protection. And these, instead of the 3 times military grade of the other ones I just showed, these are 7 times. Okay, 7 times military grade protection. It's got, these actually have a French Design Award, 2024 Gold Award as well. So I guess these series have done quite well in a lot of the testing. Okay, so taking a look at this. Okay, so they know, ESR knows that I really like this series. So these 3 look like they're all the same. I do believe what they did was they sent me 3 different colors. So we're going to take a look at the different colors going on in here and have a closer look at them. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this out and open. Let's see here. All right. This first one is, ooh, green. Okay, so we got a little bit of what I would call a military green. One thing I don't like about these is that this doesn't look very fancy. All right. But this is, okay, this is really soft in here. This has like a, look, ooh. Okay, look at this. I want you to take a really close look at this. It's soft but hard at the same time. Look at this. You see that indentation? It's like self-healing. All right, I've never seen a product that has this before. This is amazing. Wow, what kind of advanced, crazy stuff is this? Look at this. This is like the stuff that superheroes have, like the nanite bots. Wow. Okay, so obviously more protected in this case. Wow, that's cool. All right, let's take a look at the other colors as well, and we'll have them all side by side here so you can take a look at them all together at once. But wait, yeah, what is that? That is amazing stuff. I'm really surprised. I didn't expect this at all. This was not on their other cases. Look at this. So you have a soft foam type of material that self-heals. Kind of like your skin. You press it in, it's indented, this comes right out. All right, so this is obviously the black one. And now we're going to take a look at the last one, and it looks like the last one is a blue one. The differences, the subtle differences between the black and the blue, not that big of a difference. Oh, this is not the blue one. This is the orange one. All right. Yeah, this really stands out. This, when you come out with something like this, you're out there for adventures. I guess that makes sense because they've been programming us for the Apple Watch Ultras. We got the orange. Now we got the orange for this, and we got the orange for the silicone. You can see similar type of design as far as where the magnetic area is. And then obviously you got a lot more padding around here. This is all the way around shockproofing. And what sets these apart with this whole tough magnetic case series is, besides it's thicker in here, that's because it houses this piece right here. See, it's like a two-piece design. So this is that protective stuff inside. This is more, shall we say, softer, gives away a little bit more. Then the silicone case actually is rigid on the corners. This has a rigid structure to it, whereas this is soft right here. So it gives away, it gives the bumper protection in a way that the soft silicone case can't. And this is amazing stuff. It's so weird to press that and see it come back. Yeah, I don't know what this is made of, but that's like some voodoo stuff. Okay, so the rest of these cutouts are well done. Same thing as well. You got a whole camera control with capacitive touch, looks like, that goes through here. And you can see the structure of the protection here, right over there with the cutouts. And then out here you have, of course, the stand. Same stand as the other ones in the series. I don't feel much of any difference between this one and this one. I think they're exactly the same thing. Yeah, the same camera guard. Now, this one seems to jet out a little bit more, but that's because the case itself is completely more protective in that sense. But I will say, this feels more like an underwater diving type of case, and it's really adds quite a bit of bulk on here, and that's because it's got that 7x military protection. But the rest of this part feels cheap. So this part I'm really not liking. This doesn't feel super premium the way that I was really hoping this would be. So this is really just for outdoor adventures for sure. Like, let's say you're running, you're hiking, this might make more sense. But I don't like this part here. This whole part is really smooth, doesn't give you much of any grip. This is also smooth, doesn't give you as much grip. I think this hybrid version actually feels more grippy in the hand, especially when the hand's dry. But you know what? When it's wet, maybe these things will work a little bit more. But I gotta say, this feels a little bit more slippery than I like, and also feels, to me, cheap. This feels like it cheapens the feeling of the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is close to like $2,000. If you want to be a little bit more incognito, I guess you can get one of these two colors. You got the black, you got the green here. also the same feeling, unfortunately. So there's no grippiness at all to this, but I think they had to do this. They had to keep it this way for the MagSafe portion of this to connect. But I don't like that feeling. This is amazing though. So what's on the inside that makes this really stand out is that extra protection there, a shock resistance, if you will, for that. All right, I'm gonna stick the phone in. All right, I'll do black on black. We'll take a look at that. Ooh, okay. So this one, the installation's a little bit more different. I think the whole two-piece thing is that you got to stick your phone in this inside protective part here. That feels pretty protective. And then this outer part. So this is pretty common with some of the really rugged phone cases out there. They do a similar thing. Ooh, and then on the bottom here, this is actually fully protected. I neglected to share this part. You see there's actually some protection grids down here. And then it actually protects your USB-C port. Like, yeah, straight up. It protects it from sand or whatever else you might get in there. So you'll want to, when you install this, you'll want to get this out a little bit so that it fits in a little bit better. All right, so it takes a little bit of work to get it in, but this is when you know you're really going for adventures. Okay, so in the hand, once the phone is in there, it doesn't feel quite as cheap as I was making it out to be. Yeah, it's actually not as bad as I thought. However, I prefer a little bit more grip for the 17 Pro Max. I think if you got a regular 17, or if you have even bigger hands than I do, and I have relatively big hands, it feels pretty good. Feels all right. This part's all protected. Let me show you. Here's another part I want to show you. Okay, so I have the 16 Pro Max here, and here I have the Peak Design case on it, but let me try sticking this in over on, actually, you know what? Let me just show it off in the hybrid case here, just so you give you an idea here. That fits perfectly. Yep, fits perfectly. So technically you could use this also for the 16 Pro Max cases. You get a little bit more protection on here. And that's something that's really cool that I've noticed, at least before the 17 Pro was out, is that you can actually use the 17 Pro Max cases also on your 16 Pro Max, except that you'll have cutouts for obviously the sensors that are on the 17 Pro Max. Okay, so that's all the cases that I have to share with you today. Let me know what you think down below, which one you think you might be getting if you're interested in any of these. I'll have a link down below. Hopefully they all go to the right place. But I want to circle back, and I just to say that I'm very impressed by the screen protector on here. Since I've had it on for a couple of months now on my 16 Pro Max, I've not got a single scratch on here. Now, I have not done any durability tests on here. Maybe that's up and forthcoming. I will try later. Actually, you know what? Yeah. So obviously this is very scratch resistant from a regular knife, but trust me, this is as good as, or probably better than, the actual screen on the older iPhones. I'm not sure how this compares with the newest one, which has more ceramic scratch protection, but this is at least better than that. And you can barely even tell that it's on. That's how great this accessory glass by Corning is. All right, check it out down below. Please give us a like, subscribe for more. Catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.